Hello YouTube, GreatRJ1 here, and today I'm doing another one of my how to be better at heroes versus villains videos. There's a reason why I'm remaking this. I did not really give enough on how to actually use how to use Grievous in my last version of the video, so this one's a remake of it. So first off, we'll go over the skins that you should or shouldn't wear. The skin that you should never ever wear if you want him to be in secret is not his Sith cyborg. Yes, it is a cool skin, but it's also very giving away that you're on the dark side. And if you're trying to blend in with the light side and trying to trick people, because that has happened to me before with Empress Rey, then you do not want to be using his Sith cyborg skin. Just makes it too obvious. Now, Grievous is a very easy character to get the hand of, and one of the most powerful characters in the game. So, if you want to know how to unlock him, there's 4 lightsabers on 4 maps. I'll leave a link to the video in the description. But he has, like the normal, he has the normal 3 basic attacks. One where he slashes to the right, another one where he slashes to the left, and another one where he spins his sabers and then pushes his sabers forwards. The attacks don't really matter, but if you're wanting to know them, then you can, because I just told you. And I just saved my team pretty much. Now we'll go over his abilities his default abilities and the abilities I use. So we have Buzzsaw, which you know when Grievous spun his sabers in Revenge of the Sith at Obi-Wan, it's pretty much just that, but with only 1 lightsaber. I mean 2 lightsabers instead of the 4. This can become very handy on getting rid of new players and gunners, as this will easily get rid of them. Then his other one is his run ability. I do not know what it's called / remember, so however it's dropped into a crawl that he also did in Revenge of the Sith, and then he crawls and crawls and crawls and runs away pretty much. It can be very good for getting close up to an enemy if you can't catch up to them, or getting like farther away from them, but that's depending if it's charged. Or it can help you get to a location that you're trying to get to, like here. And Ahsoka just got this plate one as well. Anyway, that's his main abilities. Now, the abilities you should never ever use are his reinforcements abilities. Now, I know that sounds really weird and something that you feel like, oh, I should use it. They're not normally helpful. And even though they're not normally helpful, the reinforcements are not very good, and you're not going to ever want to use them. I've been seeing people use reinforcements so much today, and they're not going to do much. You might as well just keep Buzzsaw on. At least that does something more useful. But that's my opinion. So that's, like I say, that's just my opinion. Then this ability is optional. I haven't got the slam ability yet, so I can't tell you about that, but once I do, I will tell you about it. Yes, that is a Grievous glitch. I like to call it the Grievous stance because it looks like he's dancing. However, I can actually show you the abilities in the inventory, and yes, I do have the double vote game pass, and I have got every single character. So you do not want to use that. You want to keep the reinforcements, and it's called Clawrush. That's one. This one is going to be called. This one's optional, but it's Victorious Strike. Pretty much, he moves his saber into a character if it's in range of his lightsaber, and it does a thing called bleed, and pretty much, yeah. Now I think, I feel like it began with a W, but no, it has to be in shop so I can actually see all the abilities. Yeah, it was slam. So oh, actually, I have the second one on. Didn't know that. Anyway, do not expect me to do many gunner ones because, yeah. Anyway, if you have him with a Pong Krell that knows what he's doing, you and that Pong Krell will pretty much be unstoppable, shall we so say. Because one, I think they're the two most powerful characters in the game. They can literally pretty much take out, like, if they were having to fight a team solo, if they are good enough, they could pretty much just take out the team and they wouldn't even need any help. But that depends on the person who's actually playing them. And Qui-Gon just fell into the lava. Help. You can't jump when he's gone into Clawrush, so I just like how we're all going after Ray, and now we're going after Obi. Now, try not to use too much of your stamina. If you're really needing to run, and you have the Clawrush ability available, use that. Now, yes, you can't use it for as a longer time, but at least then it's going to be useful. The only times I recommend actually using the one that uses a stamina is when you're having to go up something bumpy like this. This is very bumpy and you cannot jump in Clawrush. So if you're having to go to something that has a bit of bump, then you're not going to really make it unless it's like a small bump, which I don't even think that would even help either. Now he can't take on hordes of enemies depending on how you play him. And yes, Ahsoka Tano just it says shielded me in the water, but in the lava, but I don't think I actually even got shielded into it, so. But yeah. Do keep in mind that his blocks can actually do two things like normal lightsaber users, but the second one is completely different. He either blocks the attack or he absolutely misses the block. Now he can take on many enemies at a time, as long as there's like a bit of help, depending on your player type. Yes, I just got rid of them too with Buzzsaw. Now if you have some people attacking you, or people that don't know how to block, or people that rather attack than block, then you will have a very easy time getting rid of them if you have a Buzzsaw, or if you're using Buzzsaw with some teammates, because that will make you pretty much unstoppable because on how powerful it is. It does 12 damage, and it takes around and it will be guaranteed to kill somebody if they don't block. So that can also be extremely helpful against gunners if they don't have the following backpack / flying abilities, and if they don't have the other following, well, if they are not able to do the following or don't do the following, run. Grievous, in my opinion, is the best character in the game, if not one of the best, just due to how powerful he is. And yes, you might find him very bad, but he's most certainly the most easiest character to understand, at least on the villains team. He's really easy to play as. If you're new to the game and you just unlock Grievous, then I recommend trying to use him as much as you can and try and understand how to use him. And he has over 150 health, I just saw that. I'm waiting for him to get to full health to tell you his full health. Now I have to regenerate. I'll tell you if I spawn back in. But try not to go into like hordes and hordes of enemies, because you will not be able to handle all of them, especially if you're new to the game. You know what, I'm going to help out the enemy team, jump in the lava. Plus I'm wanting Grievous wanted to get out of the lava. You just saw him get up, and he has a max health of 175, which is quite a lot. Some of the characters actually have just above 100 health, and I think that goes with Palpatine and Yoda. It's very important to know how to use those two characters, because they are some of the more difficult characters to understand from what I know. So let me get you, Ninub. Come on, Ninub. And you saw me just take out Luke and Grievous. And Ninub. It was a skin he was wearing, so for taunts, that's totally optional. I'm not actually going over the taunts because of that. Now, if you're going to use Victorious Strike, I'll actually equip it so you can actually see it. When I go, if I'm Grievous again, it pretty much just deals like 5 damage, which can be helpful in certain situations. I think it does 5 damage, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And I did buy the double bow game pass before you wonder. I'm trying to go over as much as I can with Grievous, because even though he's an easy character to get the hang of, and very recommended for players that are new to the game, I didn't really go over how to use him in the last time I did it. So he's very easy. Let's go over what I have said, or what's the things I've said about him. He's easy to use. Use the right abilities, which are Victorious Strike or Claw Rush and Buzzsaw, and don't use his Sith Cyborg skin if you're trying to blend in with the Jedi. So yeah, that's the following. Now let me show you what Victorious Strike does. So let me do. I couldn't hit him. So now I have to wait for it to recharge now, because he force pushed me. I got Qui-Gon. The alternate timeline when Qui-Gon doesn't die to Grievous. I always recommend having Claw Rush instead, and that's what it does. I think he was not. You saw what happened. I think he was actually taking the full damage, but I'll have to check it again. So Qui-Gon's getting it. It's very helpful for certain situations, but if you're playing against a team that has so high levels, really not it's only recommended in that situation. Oh, I will go and play Palpatine, but this person's taking him. And I have actually developed my own form on using Palpatine, which I find much easier to use, and I've always used it since I began using it. I just prefer it. Get rid of these guards. The alternate timeline where Qui-Gon didn't die to Darth Maul. And didn't even die at all. I thought I would be able to kill Qui-Gon, but I wasn't. Anyway, if you want more tips, just watch the gameplay that I'm doing right now, because I really recommend it. I recommend as much as you can do with Grievous, as he's just the best. He's pretty much the best character in the game. Next, probably either above or just next to Qui-Gon. I mean, Pong Krell. If I had to put Grievous in the ranking video of this game, he's been either second or first. It's just that good. He's just so powerful. Now, he's just the best character in the game. Now you cannot go up against too many opponents, and be sure you really want to use his Victorious Strike ability, because you may get into a situation where you really need Claw Rush, but you can't because you equipped Victorious Strike. Did I? I think I. No, I didn't. So. Thank you, Ray, for letting. Oh no! On the target. We've got target symbols above our characters. Oh. Right. Right. Left. Right, I got Obi. Good old Obi. Good old Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right. Left. Got Ray. Now, you're watching me do gameplay with Victorious Strike. I don't like using it. It's not because it's bad, it's just, I find it's just, Claw Rush is more useful, as it's more usable in different situations, and you're just going to find yourself using it more than you are going to be using Victorious Strike. Now, Victorious Strike can be helpful if you're trying to get rid of an enemy quickly and efficiently, but if you're not trying to do that, not really worth putting it on. So I'll probably do another gameplay of it. Also, Grievous is more of a attack, at least for me, it's more of a attack than an actual defense character. Poor Qui-Gon. And I got Yoda. You can see how powerful Grievous is just watching this gameplay. Now, yes, I could have gotten away faster if I was using the Claw Rush, but I didn't put it on just to give you a demonstration on Victorious Strike. but he's one that can be even more powerful with a Pong Krell. So if you ever see a Pong Krell, I recommend using him, like, so much, because if you have a Pong Krell and you work with that Pong Krell, you're likely going to be pretty much immortal, because that's how powerful they can be. They're just some of the Pong Krell I'd have to put in second or first as well, so I'll do another gameplay demonstration, but with his Claw Rush ability. I'll probably now try and do like gameplay of that character once I've done the actual going over what's the best thing to do for them, because if I'm doing that, then I can give you a demonstration on how to play the character, not just while explaining how to use them. Do you remember I got the double vote game pass? If you had to ask me what's the best modes in this game, for me it has to be Team Deathmatch, aka TDM. It's probably just the best mode, because it gives you're able to respawn. You don't have anything to get worried about because you can respawn. And it's just one of the easiest to learn game modes, and one of the most stressful-less ones, because you don't have to capture a flag, you don't have to capture a command post, and if it gets captured, and if that command post gets captured, you have to go and get it again. On the right side team. Hang on. Oh, never mind. I'll pause the video and then until I get Grievous. So, okay. So currently I'm still in the round. It's been 4 minutes. But a short 4 minutes. It's only felt like it's been like 1 or 2 minutes. Or 3. Or just that 4, but still, who knows. There you go, more there. If you're playing on a map with ledges, always try to use your force abilities. That includes like a push or a ball, if your character is having them. So yeah, that's a little bit of a tip. Oh, so now we're on the next round. And yes, you did just see my level 57, and you said 47. 57. I just want to quickly make sure. Yep. Setting that. Camino. That one's actually a really easy map to play on if you're using a character that can use the force, because on just how much of a ledge there is. There's the ledges literally everywhere, and if your character can force push or force repulse or whatever, you got it. Now here's going to be an example with Claw Rush. So we've had a example with Victorious Strike. Now we're going to have to do it with Claw Rush, because why not both? Now this one can be really useful for getting to places where you can't normally go. Now yes, it is a bit slower. It doesn't, well, not slower, but it doesn't get you as far. You don't get as far as you do with a normal sprint, but you get far enough where it's good to get that far. Like, yeah, that's giving me enough space to get away. And I literally wasn't. Oh, So if you're wondering what happens there, when something like that happens, that means that person has been changed to your team because the match is very unfair. Where did she go? Right, run. Oh, Kylo. Right. Get me behind here. Ow. So you want to make sure you use claws at the right times, because use it at the wrong time, you're not going to be able to use it correctly. It's using claws, it's more about on getting away from your opponents and getting to locations and getting closer to your opponents if you need to, or if they're running away and you need to get them. That's what it's mainly based, that's what it should be used for, because that's pretty much what it is. It's more of a ability that's used to pretty much just have fun using, get to places and have it in a useful way. So if you know how to use it in the right way, you're going to most certainly be getting rid of everybody that you can. It's very useful if you know how to use it correctly, and even more useful when you know how to use it. The more you know how to use it, the better it will be. After this, I'll do a fixed guide of Yoda. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Seems I accidentally forgot to close the video, so yes, stop the video. So yeah, sorry about that. Bye.